everyone and welcome back to our channel. My name is Efrain, software engineer here at SymFinTek, and today I'm going to walk you through how to handle credit memos in our system. This is essential for adjusting invoices and commissions correctly, and we're going to cover two types of credit memos. So credit memos with items and credit memos without items. After that, we're going to go through a step-by-step workflow to see just how credit memos can impact our commissions. Let's dive in. First, we're going to open the invoices menu. Go over here, look at our invoices, open this document over here. And we can see that we have a detail line for 60 items. In commission settings, we can see that we have J Parker set up. And we have some commissions generated over here. And it all looks okay. But now I want to correct this invoice because it should have been for 50 items instead of 60. So let's create a credit memo for that. Go over here, create a new record. Select credit memo. Select your customer. Good. Now let's add the detail line for a camera. Great. And now let's choose 10 quantity because that's what we're going to be correcting. Save this document and we can release it now. You can see that we have J Parker set up for commissions as well. There we go. And after this is released, we can go and apply it to our invoice just to adjust that balance. There we go. And release this payment as well. Right. And now we're going to go and calculate commissions just so that the system can pick up on those changes. And now that that's done, let's go close this window and open the commission details inquiry over here. Now we're going to be seeing that we have two detail lines. So the first line is for a credit memo, which is -10 quantity. And the second line is for our original invoice, which is 60 quantity. Now you can see down here that the total commission amount has been adjusted based on the changes from our credit memo. And now you can see over here that this invoice has a potential commission amount, which means that it hasn't been fully paid. So that means that the commission has not been unlocked yet. So I'm going to show you how we can create a credit memo with empty inventory lines and adjust our commissions based on that. So let's go back to our invoices. Let's check that out. We can see that it has an outstanding balance of $74,000. So let's pay that. Go to the payment screen. And I'm not going to pay the full invoice. I'm just going to pay $70,000. Okay. So we have a remaining balance of $4,000, almost $5,000. All right. So we're going to release that. And great. Now, if we go back to our invoice, just to make sure, we can see that the balance has been adjusted, right? And now it's a $4,950 balance. That looks great. Let's open up our calculation screen again, run that commission process. And once that's done, we can go back to our commission details and we can see that the potential amount, it has changed. So now we have $45.50 remaining to unlock for that commission. So, let's imagine that something happened and, the customer is not going to pay that invoice in full. So I'm not going to cover that remaining potential commission amount. So let's just close that invoice with a credit memo. All right. And I'm going to show you how we can do that and decrease the revenue that we get for that commission. And the way to do that is just create a credit memo. But this time we're going to be adding an empty inventory line because it's only intended to adjust that commission, close that invoice, and adjust that balance. Okay, so let's add a detail line without an inventory ID. And let's just add that amount that is remaining to close our invoice. Let's release this credit memo. Okay, and let's apply it now to our invoice. So let's look for a document in here, open that invoice, and release this payment. Okay. And now we can see that for our invoice, the balance is now 0, so the invoice has been closed. And remember that we want that potential commission amount to be gone. Everything else should stay the same because we're going to be adjusting that revenue. So let's just calculate commissions now. Go back to our commission details. And we can see here that the potential commission amount is gone. The effective commission amount remains the same. And that the revenue that was used to calculate those commissions, it has been decreased based on the amount from that credit memo that we created. So we can check back on the invoice. The balance zero, it's been closed. But the revenue from our commission line is different because it has been adjusted based on that credit memo. Okay, and to wrap up, 2 different ways that you can use credit memos to adjust your commissions. So just like our first example, you can use credit memos with inventory lines to make those adjustments to your invoices, and that's also going to adjust your commissions. Just like we did, we had an invoice for 60 items, we wanted to change that, create that credit memo for those 10 items, and then we have a final result of calculating commissions only on those 50 items. For our second example, how we can calculate commissions and effectively reduce that revenue for those commissions by applying a credit memo with an empty inventory line. So just like we showed you, apply that credit memo to your invoice, the revenue is decreased, and your commissions are calculated based on the adjusted revenue. So if you like this video, leave a like. Any questions or comments are welcome. Feel free to leave them down below. Subscribe for more, and see you on the next one. Bye bye.